course contain the theory and practicals, all the theory materials and practicals. In these things, we are also going to discuss about the real-time work, which means during the practicals. Practicals is nothing but the real-time work that we're going to do. And the real-time project issues, what kind of issues you get while working on the real-time scenarios. So just moving, out of the box and try different things, and then what kind of issues you get. And when I'm working in my office, what kind of issues I would get, I would sometimes come and discuss them with you guys, probably by picking up some scenario and then doing it and then facing that issue and then fixing that back again. And then interview questions. A lot of interview questions I've collected from different interview experiences that I encounter on a day-to-day basis. Next. And then, yeah, the takeaway, theory materials, the Pega software to practice, and the sample resumes, which will help you to create one befitting resume for yourself, and the recorded videos. Every day, day after day, I upload the recordings in the link, and where you can watch them and practice things in your local machine. For that, I'm giving you Pega software. And then interview questions, a topic-wise question and answers I have. So, and I want to keep, interview and this training in sync, because once you learn, again, the interview is next syllabus altogether. Learning is one thing and cracking interview is one other thing. I'm sure you understand that. So to keep them in one line, I've included a lot of interview related stuff also. That is one thing, interview question and answers topic wise. So once I finish each topic, I would take you to that,
Nana will come, Mama.
I'll open the document. Yeah. So I just muted you. If you have something, then you can unmute and speak. Well, so those topic-wise question and answers, and whenever I teach you some topic, I open the questions and then show you that how the questions are coming. Is that the exact way that we have just learned? I'm going to show all that. And all right. And so far, is it fine, or do you have any questions? You can speak to me by unmuting yourself.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah. So immediately go back to mute because it's recording, and if any background noise is recorded, so it is a little unnecessary, no?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, my daughter is 6. She's calling me.
No problem. Yeah, that's why I'm asking you to mute immediately after you speak.
Yeah, I'm trying to mute, and meanwhile she comes.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, that's one thing, and let's go back to the other slides. Well, let's understand what Pega is, and in few, like, with few slides, I'll try and tell you what Pega is and how it is like stealing the market, and if it is in demand, then why? Then how about it's going? What is its future going to be? Let's understand those stuff. Well, so Pega Systems, so that's some other company for this Pega technology, and it was founded by in 1983 by CEO and Chairman Alan Tefler, and the company went in public in 1996, and it started its business. And Pega Systems customers, or the Pega Systems vendors, are in various sectors such as financial services, insurance services, healthcare, communication and media, life sciences, government websites, all the government related sites and all. So especially you see government websites in Singapore and Malaysia, all their government websites are built in Pega. And it is, again, it is adopted in Vijayawada also for this new capital. So yeah, and it is there in different bank domains and even healthcare domains. The one we are doing is healthcare project. Okay. Yeah. And we call Pega as a BPM tool. I'm sure you must have heard it. Pega is one of the BPM tools, along with IBM BPM, APN. There are a lot of BPM tools, which I have in a different slide. So when I say BPM,
is there any expansion for Pega?
Which one?
The Pega.
Pega.
Is there any expansion?
Yeah. You would be understanding it further. So Pega is one of the BPM tools, which means business process management. When I say business process management, it's a methodology to manage process and workflows in the organization. So, which means it will process or it will manage the process of a business. That's a BPM tool. And the goal of this tool is to increase the efficiency and the performance, and it makes the things more agile in day to day operations. Meaning, and you understand what is a business process. So, it's one organized process will define a business process, which incorporates like planning, designing, building, operating, maintaining, and improving business process. So this is included in BPM, and BPM is nothing but a Pega tool. And what are the real advantages of any BPM tool is? It is much faster and better cost effective, because once tool is built, you don't have to do anything, but using this tool you can build any kind of projects. Hence it is definitely a cost effective one. You don't have to start any application from the scratch. And yes, this way it will reduce the number of errors and exceptions, which means no duplication. You can easily track the duplication using BPM tool. All these things will definitely increase the efficiency and the performance, and the business risk is very less, hence provides more security, hence a lot of clients would go for this. That defines its future. So other BPM tools like you have BP Logic, Software AG. These are some of the other BPM tools along with Pega. Yeah. Now let's understand what Pega is, because we understand what is a BPM tool in general. What is that BPM tool actually means, and
Yeah.
yeah. You have any question?
No.
All right. Now what is Pega? So you're asking the Pega full form. Pega do not have any full form, but we call it as Pega Rules. PRPC we generally call. PRPC is nothing but Pega Rules Process Commander. PRPC is nothing but Pega Rules and Process Commander. So when I say, so PRPC is like comprehensive platform, which means it's one platform, it's one web tool for building and developing different applications. Applications like customer relationship management, case management applications, any decision making applications, all those kind of applications. Okay. This tool, it is a powerful and flexible platform that can do anything almost, and focusing on mostly automating the work and programming, which means you don't have to do things manually. You don't have to code things manually. It will automate a lot of things. That's why we can develop this application without any coding. Any application you can develop without any coding. So it could be any domain like financial services, healthcare, government websites, or anything. Using Pega platform, you can develop anything without using a single coding. That's why you don't need a code experts for it. That's one big advantage, and that's when you can implement or develop the application so quickly. Okay, that is one other advantage where why clients has to go for this tool. All right, next. Next, Pega Rules Process Commander comes essentially with two things, which is Pega Rules and Process Commander. Now I want to separate them and tell you the exact meaning what Pega is. So we call as Pega Rules and Process Commander. What is Pega Rules? It is rules. So I have lot of Pega Rules, which means which is a core Java based product. It's a rules engine, which means all the rules I have created and kept at one place, and I'm calling it as Pega Rules. Now there is one commander, who is a commander who drives. All right, so that is Process Commander. That is one another thing in this, which is like it will it that is useful to design an application using the rules that is available. So using Pega rules, an application can be created, an application can be designed. That is nothing but Process Commander. You get it now? Now to tell you, it's Pega is like It's also a combination of BRE and BPM. So what is BRE and BPM? When I say BRE and BPM, it's like business rules engine plus BPM, business process management. Okay. So when I say, um, it's simple. If somebody asks you what is Pega, it's like a BRE plus BPM. BRE is business rules engine. All the rules I have here. And what is BPM? It's a process to manage the business using all these rules. That's Pega. You get it?
Yeah, it's basically like a bridge for the application to.
Not bridge. It itself a complete platform to build an application.
Okay.
It's a complete application. We call it as Designer Studio, the one that you see here. Using this Designer Studio, this is a Pega tool. This using this, you can completely build an application. Okay. Next, so yes, now we understand what is Pega. Then why Pega? Pega product is built on Java. It always produces a Java code behind the execution. So when it is executing, it always creates a Java code in the backend. That's why Pega is built using a Java code. So now you don't need a Java coding or anything to create any other application. So what Pega Systems has did it, they want to create one application that can create any application, right? Otherwise, what is the conventional methodology all these years we have been following? Using Java, we create applications, right? Any kind of applications using Java, you can create it. And it will definitely take a lot of time. It's again a single thing. You have to code it. You have to code right for a date kind of. If I need a date, you have to write some code. If I need a first name or last name to collect from the customer end, I need to write some code. All those things I'll implement in Java and make an application. Now, if I need a date, I'll directly, drag and drop it. I'll drag down some date from somewhere and the full names from somewhere, last name from somewhere, phone number from somewhere, and drag and drop it on the screen. So I'll save a lot of time. Okay, so recently I've read it in one of the Pega Systems website. It saves 8 times of your time to create any application using Pega. If you use Pega, if you take 1 hour, then using Java, it will take 8 hours for you, which
So
means you
for
can
this, we don't need any coding.
absolutely zero coding. I myself do not know any coding, to be honest with you. So Pega goal is to eliminate coding and automate manual work, right? And so that is one thing. In the scope of Pega, when I've collected it sometime later, so it was published in the newspaper that all the companies are moving towards Pega Systems coding platform because yeah, since they liked and understood the concept what Pega Systems is doing. See, the world is moving towards automation. The world is moving towards robotics. The world is moving towards avoid conventional methodologies and automate the data, ignore the manual work, right? Transform the manual work to the automation. So Pega is one such tool. That's the reason why Pega will always have a demand. And the new concepts like data science and robotics is there in Pega since few years already. Data science is already included. So all these things are included in Pega, which means the scope will again increase. So the tool will never last any sooner. It will take a lot of time. Okay. If you look at the companies, these are the lot of companies, and I've just only noted down few. Now every now and then the new companies are coming up, the new clients are coming up. Okay, so if you took look at HSBC, the employees will use Pega application. HSBC, not software employees, but the bank employees. The bank employees will use one application, right, internally. That is nothing but built on Pega. Likewise, Citibank, likewise, Bank of America, Standard Chartered Bank, and then health insurances, different health insurances you have. So these are clients and also the uh, the vendors. BNP Paribas, all these banks, Farmers, one insurance company. So there are a lot of companies. Okay. Yeah. So advantage of Pega, build solutions faster because there is no coding. The complete platform is available here, which means you don't need any third-party applications to finish your complete application or to finish your complete requirement of the client. Build smarter. We have many things that acts really smart in this Pega application. You can have multiple people working together in this and make it the application is more responsive. Even if you open in your mobile phone or in your tablet or in your laptop, it will adjust to the screen and open it for you once you create it. You don't need special things to customize it based on the UI or based on the device that you're opening. Okay. So there is a 6R concept in it, which is like, you receive the work and then you route based on a skills, and then you report and get the data, then you research around it, and you respond for any external emails, then resolve it. It's just a concept, you don't really use it, but it is a methodology, simple. Okay. And and the training content, yeah, you don't understand all these rules anyways, but we're going to cover the content of Pega basically. Okay, I think I have to upload this thing, update this with we have 8.1. After 7.4 we have 8.123, 8 versions released, and these are some of the certifications. And to be able to work on Pega, you need to hold a certified system architect. That I'll tell you how to do all that. And after that, it's a CSC, certified senior system architect, and then lead system architect, and some of the business related ones, and the data scientist related ones, and the marketing ones. So Pega has so many things, not just the developer ones. So there are many things in Pega. System requirements. Yeah, you have some question?
No. So in all companies right now, they are using 8 version. The Pega.
No, 8 is like it's
No.
been 1.5 year it's launched, and most of the companies, there are companies who are using 6 version also. There are companies who are using 7 version. There are very, very less companies who are using 8 version, but if you work on any of the versions, it's the same thing. The using of rules is same thing. The one who work on Pega 5.4 can easily understand 7.4 because the functionality and the usage is same. Probably the look and feel will change, and few rules here and there will change. But once you understand the functionality of how everything works, then any new changes will not take much time for you to get it. But if you ask me what are the companies that they are, most of the companies are using 7.234. Only these versions they use. And max to max, like these two, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the installation requirements in order to install Pega on your local machine and to be able to work on it. And these are minimum requirements. Windows 7 on 8 and above. In 64-bit operating system it should be, and the RAM should be 4 GB and above. It should be 4 GB and above. And the space to just download and keep it in your machine, the 15 to 20 GB it should be, at least the space should be in any drive that you're installing. While installing Pega, there is a database, a default database that will get installed, which is Postgres, we call, or PostgRE SQL we call. That is one database, and the server is Tomcat. It will run on a Tomcat server, which is this one. It's a Tomcat server we call. It's a Tomcat server that it'll run on. And default credentials is administrator@pega.com and install is the password. Okay,
So
so
is this is a open source tool or do we need to buy?
no, it's an open source one.
Okay.
It's an open source with a limited details. And yes, if you want to, create and host it on the website, and then you have to buy a personal, the licensed one. Yeah. So then if you look at the screen, what I'm gonna give you, Pega theoretical materials, all this theory I'm gonna give you, which will help you to read and understand things in deeply. And then all these project videos, one after the other, I'm going to give you on a daily basis. And then there is something called app details and links, which is based on your interest. And if you are more eager to understand Pega in lot many ways, and Pega is like very vast, Priya. It's like so much. There is so much to learn. It's a big thing. Pega systems is like so big thing. Okay, and as a Pega developer, you will have your solid foundation as a developer in the market. I mean to say, you will have a solid, you know, preference to your profile if you are a Pega developer. So which means Pega systems is definitely a big thing, and to hold a good knowledge on it can transform your career to get great heights. There are a lot of things. Keeping those things in mind, there are a lot of things. If you keep learning them, um, it basically makes a different person altogether. Then while delivering it in the interviews or while giving your you know in your knowledge delivery, so all these things will help you. So these things are like extra things apart from the training I've collected. Now and then I prepare some things from this even for myself. And there are also some frameworks. I guess you know what is a framework. A framework is something that it is already built in application that I can use it to implement or customize my own requirement. For example, you have a auto loan insurance in that is available in the market. So now there are people who do auto loan insurances, car insurance. Now they don't need to create one complete application from start to end. They can make use of all the created application and customize it as per their business regulations and post it on the website. Framework is like already created one that you can make use of it. And yeah, this is one thing that I share with you. And then I was showing you topic wise interview question and answers, which I was telling you, after each topic I would really recommend everybody to go into the question and answers document, see what you have learned, see whether you're able to answer those topic questions, understand them. So that way you are directly connecting, to your interview process also. From day one itself, you can start learning this interview related. Practicals, you anyways do it by looking at the video. But yes, if something is asked in the interview, nobody will be able to tell unless they go through this kind of process. All right, that's topic wise question and answers, where almost every topic has question and answers here. All right, that's one thing. And yeah, so the installation steps, every in order to install your the local Pega in your local machine, you have all the installation steps in detail, which will help you to install it in your machine. And the Pega content, from here you can look at the content and what we are going to learn and what is everything here, what all things are included in Pega. From there, you can understand while doing things, while practicing things, you can look at this thing and see whether we are able to cover it or not. And then Then you have my interview questions. As I was telling you that I appear for a lot of interviews for different reasons. So I have collected a lot of questions from it. So Monarch, Infotech, Tech Mahindra, and then what is this company? Accenture, Capgemini, and then HCL. I think somewhere Infosys. So there are a lot of questions collected and just documented here. If you read at least 100 out of these 300, that can clear your interview. And all of like most of them are repeated. Yeah,
Just a quick question, like
yeah,
there will be some kind of screens, right? Like 25 screens you said. So just want to see one screen.
yeah. I'm going to show you. That's the next thing I'm going to show you. And yes, there is one thing called user story sample. When I say user story, since you are from testing background, you'll understand it easily. How you keep this user story with you and you test the code, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've taken this from real time. So this is the implementation that they have given, asked us to implement. So as a client, I want to specify the basic details in order to register for an online training. That's a client requirement, and they have given you this picture. So right from this top till bottom, I have to configure everything. This is the look and feel that I need to get. And what everything is meant for, what exactly business control that we have on it is this one. It will define screen fields and rules. So this is a component. When you click on it, the pop-up should be closed. Next, there is a text. Looking for an online training. It's just a text. Then name, India, and all this. These are input fields. User is just entering it and making a placeholder. So all these things are placeholders that we see here. So all these things are clearly mentioned. And follow these things. Just you know finish your requirement.
So using that rules, we need to design this, right?
Exactly. Correct. Correct. So we will mention everything. That is user story sample. Next, you have my interview questions. Oh, we have already covered. Next, health insurance application design document. So this is the crucial one. So this is the design document that I have, and I've collected it like some forms because this is basically an health insurance application where it has two different business flows for the client Cigna Health Group. So some client has some two different business flows. One is cashless claim and reimbursement process. Whenever you have an insurance with some company, you always have two, you always have these business flows along with different business flows. Cashless claim, which means you can go to some network hospital. That's the terminology we use. You go to a network hospital, finish off your service or any planned hospitalization, come back without paying anything because your insurance company will pay them. What is reimbursement? You want to visit your wished hospital. You don't want to go to probably the network hospital because you might know a doctor who is working in non-network hospital, and that doctor is a specialized in the treatment that you are looking for. So you go to that hospital, get your treatment done, come back and pay from your pocket and come back. Then you go through this business flow, open your insurance application. I think Bupa or some other applications you have in US also, a UHG or all those. Open that, go through the reimbursement case type, and it will ask you a couple of questions and take you from different screens. Those screens is nothing but we're going to build. That's a business flow, right? So if you read the definitions, cashless is a business flow that will ensure a policyholder can get a medical treatment at a hospital listed by the insurer, so the one that I'm getting an insurance from, without having to pay anything as a part of cashless claim process. Okay, and a cashless claim can be availed when a planned hospitalization or an emergency hospitalization is done. What is reimbursement? It's a business flow that will allow the policyholder to request for a cash reimbursement for the amount incurred for availing any medical service. Because he already availed some medical service and he paid from his pocket. So now he has to get the amount back because he already paying for an insurance. So now the insurance company or a TPA, third party administration, will process application and after detailed scrutiny. So they will have some detailed check, and then it will decide the amount that the user is eligible for, or the insured person is eligible for. Clear with those definitions, Priya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those are the
Understood.
two case types, and when you look at the stages, and yeah, so we categorize the whole application into some stages and then some screens. So if you look at this, this is one screen. When I open my application, I should see the screen, right? So all this is my design document. This is for a cashless one. I have screen one, where right from here I have to implement, write down these things, and here user will give his details, and then go to screen number 2 to fill patient details to be filled by the insured patient, and then patient admitted details.
So each screen has their own methods to design this one.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same UI. I mean, of course you have different things in Pega. You have to make use of those things and create and display. Okay,
Okay.
so little complex structure, not so easy screens, not so easy fields, and finally you're going to declare it. Next, there is one which is reimbursement now. Screen number 6, declaration by the patient, and this text, that's it. And then finally some documents. All right. Next you have reimbursement case types. Reimbursement is the next business flow that we have. Screen number 1, broad guidelines for claim process. So when you want to reimburse, then you have to follow certain guidelines. That is one thing. These are guidelines that you have to follow. And then screen number 2, description of key documents required along with the claim form. Along with the claim form, you need to attach some documents also. That's one thing. Okay, one second. Next, you have screen number 3, where we are collecting details of the primary insured. Who is the primary insured one? Starting from this, details of the primary insured. We're collecting all his details, the policy number, the serial number, and all that, and the address ones. And the screen number 4, details of any insurance history. Do you have something? Yes, then fill this. No, don't fill. Hospitalized details. Insured person hospitalized. Gender, and if it is not somebody who is hospitalized, the same person, then who is that, and what is his relationship, what is occupation, and what is the address if it is different from above. Details of hospitalization, don't get confused with the names, it's like little different. It's insured person hospitalized, and it's hospitalization details, like what is the room category, hospitalization due to injury, or what is that, if injury, what is that, road traffic accident or self-inflicted. If it is road traffic, then is it a medical legal one? If it is a medical legal, did you report to police? If yes, then did you attach it? All these things based on a when conditions. Yeah. If that, then this. If this, then that. It's like that. Then details of hospital. What is the name of the hospital? What is the type of hospital? Name of the treating doctor, qualification, and all that. Because they'll do a validation in the back end, and you need to fill all those details. And how do you get all those details? And while you come back from your hospital, they'll give you all those forms, right? So you have to keep all those forms while filling it. Now, clearance prerequisites. Once you do it, bill submission, all these bills you have to write. Bill towards what and what is the amount, bill towards what and the amount. After adding that, you need to get something should be added automatically, all those things. I've already implemented it for the ongoing batch. I'll show you that also, okay? But I want to show you the design document, all right? And the document submitted, what kind of documents you're submitting. And then bank details. Bank details. Once you enter a PAN number, I want to get all my bank details here. Because using PAN, you can get your details. Just finally declaring your application or your submission. So these are all the things that I've collected from some website as a PDF documents, and we're implementing it in Pega. That's how it will given to you in your real time. They'll give you this, but they'll mention all the business rules for you. Just the way I've shown you this use story sample. All these things they'll mention one screen, and they'll give you all these inputs. What every single thing is, what type it is, and what is the business requirement on it. Get it?
Yeah. So each client has their own design, right? Like
Of course, of course.
own screens.
Yeah. Now, coming back to the one that I've implemented, since you've already seen the physical application, let's look at the offline application. Let's look at the online application, how it is built from my end. Yeah, if you look at this, it's the same thing, broad guidelines for claim process. So the design document. So I've tried to get the exact look and feel. However, few functions won't work because it's not a licensed version. So what you need to consider is from here, from this place to this place, from here to here is our application. The right side things and left side and the top, because it's a personal edition, no, you'll not get many things. So this is what our application. This is a first screen, broad guidelines. That's exactly we had here, broad guidelines. And then next you have screen number 2 as key documents. Screen number 2 would be once I submit. Screen number 2 is like key documents required, indoor case papers and all this. Wherever it is highlighted, I've highlighted. Left one I have highlighted. Yes, I've highlighted. Then what is the next screen I have here? I have this details of the primary insured starting from this place. So, okay, and that thing I've not implemented yet. I've implemented, but I did not call it. Claim form, this top one. And below that, you have details of primary insured and all these things. So details of primary insured and the policy number, serial number, and everything you're going to mention here. And serial number, I can have it as like 0123456, company TPI ID 123, and then you can have it as Priya, and then ABC. And you should get full name automatically. That is yet pending for me. We have to do it. Because once I write your first name and last name, it shouldn't ask your name again.
It's automatically
It should
popularized.
automatically come. Yeah, I guess it is implemented already. Let me just quickly check it. Or maybe I've removed it for testing something. Okay, I guess we have removed that functionality. We have removed it. Yeah. So yeah, those are some of the things that we have tried to do. And here, fill temporary address. So I want to add some temporary address saying that you know, Fifth Avenue, and city can be San Jose, and then yeah, and then I can have some pin code, probably 0123, and mobile number and email ID. It will have a validation against email ID. If I don't give a valid email ID, I think this will throw an error. Let me try and save it. Okay, so something at the rate gmail.com. I've given all these details. Currently covered. Next, details of previous insurance history. We have something here, right, which is details of insurance history it is collecting. So when I say details of insurance history, by default I always keep it no. If I make it yes, then it will ask for some details. So it's a visibility that I've added, because you don't want to show some things to the user which is not really necessary, right? You cannot ask the married spouse name unless he selects married, right?
Yeah.
So like that, when I keep it no, then nothing should be visible. Here also, only when I keep it yes, then yes, Mr. and then name. So again, select all these things, and then when I select a date of birth, probably um, and the age should automatically come here. I've removed all those changes. Sometimes I'll keep trying different things, and that's when I remove certain things. So when I give a date of birth, age should automatically be calculated, right? So that's one thing we have configured. Date and time. Okay, let me look at this. That is the reason. It was earlier integer, I guess. One second. Okay, I think I'll have to do all that again. So a few changes have gone. Anyways, so that's one thing. And when I select self here, it's nothing. When I select mother, it is asking mother name for me. When I select father, it is asking a father name. Spouse, spouse name. Other, other name. And when I select self, it'll all go. In the occupation, what is our occupation that I have in the drop down? If I just type yes, then the one that starts with S, all will be appeared here. And yeah, see, when I select, the below address is same as previous address. I've just entered some address before, and all that is appearing here. When I unselect it, it's gone. So nothing is there, right? So that's another thing we always see in different applications, right? If the address is same, then user shouldn't select. He just have to select yes, and everything is in read only now. He can't even edit also. That is something that we keep doing in real time. Name of the hospital we're admitted, maybe, you know, Sunshine Hospitals, blah blah. And then if it is a single occupancy, then it will take me to single occupancy to fill details. If I select twin sharing, it will take me to twin sharing details to fill those details after this screen. Now if I select injury, something got activated here. If I just remove it, it will not ask me. If it is illness, or it won't ask me. If I select injury, it is asking, because if it is an injury, then injury due to what? That is there here, right? In the document, I have something here that that if it is injury, give a cause. If at all, if you select injury here, then give a cause. If you select these two things, then I don't require all these things. Yes, I selected injury. Then if it is injury due to self-inflicted, fine. Alcohol, still fine. But if I select road traffic, it will come under as a legal action. Medical legal it will come as. If you select no, it's fine. If you select yes, then did you report to police? If you select no, nothing will happen. If you select yes, then please attach an MLC report or an FAR. So if you click on it, it'll take you to system. If you click on it, it'll take you to local system drive to attach that document or MLC report. Now, once MLC report is attached or not, yes, attached. System of medicine, what kind of medicine you're using. Submit. Twin sharing, because I've selected twin sharing in my previous screen. So it is asking me twin sharing. Some details, something I've implemented like that. Then look at the hospital details. Once you visit your hospital, you should always have an hospital ID in your document. If I just have hospital ID 123, fetch hospital details, I can click on it. It filled everything here automatically, right? So I can have anything here. So it's gone now. That is one thing. So any application, we call it as a user-friendly application when user doesn't have to fill more things, correct? Any application which has less number of clicks, which has more automatically filled data on it, that's when you call an application as a user-friendly application. You agree with me? So that is something that we have to do using Pega. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Perfect. Now you have details of bills enclosed, which is now you're entering into a next stage where you have to enter your bill details like this way. So this is exactly I try to bring the look and feel of this. Serial number 1 and bill number bill 123 towards pharmacy. Amount is 2000. Now I'm adding a new row. See, the amount is getting calculated, total amount. For that we need a different functions in Pega. So it's all, everything is there. I just have to drag and drop them and configure them. That's it. It's drags. It's 5000. Just when I click outside, it is getting refreshed and adding the amount. Now when I delete one row, again it is refreshed and going back to that amount. These are some things that we have done. And 2, 3, 4, 10,000. Yeah. Now move on to the next screen. Document submitted. Yes, say this. Next is document submitted. So once you probably select few things and then move finish. Yes, you were asking something. Any questions?
No. No.
All right. Now you have a PAN number. As I was telling, again, you shouldn't ask the user all these details. That's what your application is. If he gives his PAN number, then you have an option that you can get his bank records from using a PAN number by connecting to his bank, right? So if you're asking, then he has to probably open his phone or probably open his wallet, and probably he has to call his home and open his passbook and enter all these details. So that's what, you shouldn't make the user to search for things. You should find an alternative. Just the way we have an OTP if you forget a password. You don't need to look at your phone, or probably you don't need to look at your card to write your CVV number and all that. Right. So PAN number ABCDE 1234, and then okay. No, this is not a valid one. I'm not sure what PAN number I've given. Let me check.
So if it is a valid number, it will show up all his records, right?
Correct.
All
Of course, that's how the real-time things are also, right? If it is invalid, then I can write some message saying that it doesn't match with the records we have and it is invalid. Okay, I've taken in a simple way. AB123BA. AB123BA. It got me the records here. Account number, branch, IFSC code. And then BC123 CB. Another record. It should match with, of course, it should match with your PAN card number, right? So these are different things, and for these things you get issues and you have to fix them, and that's when it'll take more than 2 months or 2 months. So that is the reason why I told you it's 2 months.
So for developing each screen, maybe we need that.
Definitely, because in real time to do this screen it will take a lot of time, because see, for screen development it will take less time, but for testing it'll take more time. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
So that is when it takes a lot of time. And if you go to any other institute or somewhere, I don't think they have these kind of implementations, because it's time consuming one. You need to spend on one batch a lot of time, and I don't think institutes will do that. They'll be in a hurry to finish and start with a new batch, with due respect to everybody, of course. But yes, I'm telling you the fact. To do these things at 11, it will take a lot of time. So anybody who looks at this application can probably understand that. And yes, today's date. Again, it shouldn't fill a today's date. You have to get that date. So this application is still being implemented, and I have to do certain changes. The classes are still pending for them. That is one thing. And signature. Yes, you can add your signature here. So just drag and drop, and for all your real-time applications. I mean, if you get some online delivery, he takes your signature, right?
Yeah, the digital one.
Correct. So, and if may imagine that that is developed in Pega, then yes, this is the way. So this is how you can write your name and signature and submit it. So and write down your place. Probably it can recognize your place also based on your browser location. Whatever location you have in your browser, that should, I have to connect to that browser and mention the location here, because again I don't want the user to do it. So
So,
for user it is only displaying one name here, but for me it is a lot of things as a developer. Yes, ask me.
so we need to design all these box and buttons and everything, right?
Everything is our developer perspective. Now again
Yeah.
in the last screen, again to make it more better for the user feels somewhere that, hey, I did not give my correct name and I want to change my name, because maybe I'm testing something here. Because sometimes in few applications you don't give your right name, just to see what it offers for you. Maybe by selecting some offers in your Amazon or somewhere, you have a best offer, please here enter your personal details. So you try to enter some fake details, right?
Yeah.
Then once you realize that it is sending an OTP, then you have to give your correct phone number. So then what it'll do, once you reach the destination screen, again it'll give you, hey, do you want to modify your details? Then click here. Then it is like address details. Do you modify your address details? Because you might have given us something so randomly, but you realized that it needs the correct details. Then you can enter it from here and then submit it. Then original details will be submitted to the database. And then save it here. If you see here, your signature is here. It is loaded in the mission. So it is trying to save it here in the mission, okay, into your desktop, because I have to capture the signature, right, and
Yeah.
store it in my database. Yeah. So submit, and then it'll take you to it is routed for the manager for the approval now. So I have to log in with my manager credentials, and that's when I'll see 573. Let me see if I can get 573 here. Am I really fast?
Uh, no, I did the similar type of testing in Epic, so I'm just thinking about that. So if you have anything to do with the manager, so we used to log in as a manager and we'll check with.
Exactly, that's what. Now I need to log in as a manager. That's when I probably find these things.
Yeah.
See,
So
now it
each
gave here.
user
Get
has their
approval
own
573.
credentials.
Correct. The recent work object is 573. Now it went for an approval. So if you open 573 here, it is a manager now. Manager.healthcare under his work objects. I have 5 things. So I'll open 573. It'll give me, hey, do you want to approve or reject? If it is approved, then I'll write an approval comments. It's approved. Okay. Because everything is good. If I approve it, um, that's it. It is over now. Resolve completed. I'll take one more scenario wherein I'll take one more and show you. If I reject, what it will show me. I'll go here, get an approval. The deadline was 4 days ago. I've defined some time level rules also. So need to submit your proofs to get your application approved probably because he did not give proper details. Then reject it. Just copy it. Reject it. If you reject it, probably it will take you to reject screen. Select the reject reason, not sufficient data. Reject comments, suggested comments. Um, Apply again, again applying with some valid data or something. Because because not to lose the business, right? You want him, you are taking him into a different business flow on alternate stages we call, and then you're probably guiding him, hey, what you can do in a better way to come back and continue with your application. That's when it is resolved rejected. That's it. So yeah, this is pretty much my application. I'm not sure whether you like it or
So
you
if it
felt for
rejects,
something.
it's directly
I'm sorry.
if it, if it rejects, it's directly going to the client and
Yeah, it's
the.
eventually a user can get an email saying that it's rejected for so and so reasons. Yeah,
Mhm.
eventually we have to configure one email saying that this is how the information will go to him.
Okay.
And those email things, yes, if I want, I can configure them. It's all in my wish. I can develop in whichever way I want. So yeah, this is pretty much we have done, and it took 2 months to do all these things. Probably I just ran it in 10 minutes, but yes, it will take 2 months to do it. Any questions you have?
Um, so far, I'm good.
Yeah, and I can also explain about this designer studio, but it's been that's why in one demo class we cannot finish things. That's what I always feel. I explained about what we're going to do. Now to see whether how I'm explaining about the other things, because we have not get into the application yet. However, I've created the application. You have seen it, and in my second demo, I generally explain about this designer studio and the left side options, the top options and the bottom options. That's what I would generally do it. But yeah, it's more than 1 hour now. Maybe we can connect tomorrow and discuss certain other things.
Yeah,
That way you can get a better understanding on what we're doing and how I'm doing
yeah, sure, Gautam. I
in
will
terms of my
let you know.
teaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, Priya, you can absolutely let me know. And that's pretty much about this